Vítajte na našom kanáli. Dnes ideme pozrieť Lochneské jazero. Ňuni. Ňuni. A tam je čo, malá, hnedá? Ježiš, áno. Ocko.
Veľmi pekná, taká malá.
Aha. Tu máme pravej skotskej dobytok. S vlasmi v očiach. A tam je aj malý, idem ho pozrieť, Janku. Tam je taký malý. Ježiš, ten ešte nemá vlasy až tak predu. Že? Taký je jak ovečka. Teraz ti ide pekne ten sem, obidvaja sa sem idú otočiť. Tí veľkí sa ti idú otočiť pekne. Lebo idú tam jesť to.
Veľmi pekné.
To jak ich odháňa.
Aha,
Pozerala na mňa z murku.
áno. Odfotila si niečo mobilom? Áno. A teraz tí tam, pozri, rozoberajú. Kde tá veľká, tá odohnáva hentých. Loch Ness, ľudovo nazývané Lochneské jazero, je druhé najväčšie jazero v Škótsku. Je dlhé 36,2 km a má hĺbku 226 metrov. Podľa legend sa v ňom nachádza lochneská príšera Nessie, obluda, ktorá tu prežila ešte z čias praveku. Lochneskú príšeru vraj prvýkrát uvideli už v roku 565. Istý írsky mních podal svedectvo o tom, ako nejaký divný tvor stiahol do vody muža. V roku 1933 istí manželia tvrdili, že ju vraj videli plaziť sa po ceste. O rok neskôr anglický chirurg Robert Wilson uvidel na jazere dlhý čierny pás a vyfotografoval ho. Najvýznamnejšou pamiatkou na pobreží jazera Loch Ness je Urquhart, ktorý je jedným z najväčších hradov v Škótsku. Veľmi dôležitú úlohu zohral počas bojov medzi Škótmi a Angličanmi. Hrad pochádza z 13. storočia. Takže tu je Urquhart Castle, hrad, ktorý je na Loch Ness jazere. November od 9:30 do 16:30 a vstupné je dospelý 16 libier, dieťa 9,50 a majú aj nejaký rodinný lístok. Pozrieme ten hrad takto zhora. Vidno ho? Legenda však naplno ožila, až keď sa postavila okolo jazera cesta. Vtedy k nemu začalo jazdiť viac ľudí a tí sa neraz stretávali s rôznymi zvláštnymi úkazmi. Doteraz je evidovaných viac ako 1000 svedectiev o tom, že niekto videl tajomnú príšeru. Túto hádanku sa rozhodlo rozlúčiť hneď niekoľko vedcov, najväčší prieskum prebehol v roku 2003. Odborníci vtedy v spolupráci s BBC prehľadali dno pomocou 600 sonarov. Nepodarilo sa im však nájsť žiaden nezvyčajný úkaz, ktorý by poukazoval na existenciu Lochneskej príšery. Centrum Loch Ness sa nachádza v starom hoteli Drum na Droghid, kde v roku 1933 manažérka Aldi McKayová vyhlásila, že videla vodné monštrum.
Landscape around you that human feet have never trod here, that this is a truly wild place. But of course, people have been here a long time. This very building is not only the official home of the Loch Ness project, but also, in 1933, was at the epicenter of the Loch Ness phenomenon. This village, Drumnadrochid, is over 200 years old, and nearby Castle Urquhart has stood watch in one shape or another for over 1400 years. Humans aren't the only creatures to call Loch Ness home. Golden eagles hunt in the skies overhead, Highland cattle graze on the hillsides, and seals sometimes swim into the shallows of the loch. Are they alone there? Who can say? But we do know that the shallows are only the beginning. The loch is vast. 23 miles long and 754 feet deep. All the water in all the lakes in England and Wales wouldn't fill it. A 60-story tower would be submerged into its depths. And its origins go back 500 million years to a very different world. A world where Scotland was south of the equator. As the continents drifted, the rocks you're standing on now ploughed into Europe. They moved no faster than your fingernail grows, but the collision was enough to crumple the Caledonian Mountains up to the height of today's Himalayas. Over 380 million years, this landmass drifted north. 6,000 slow miles. What would become Scotland now crossed the equator, where the warm, wet climate saw amphibians make their homes in its swamps. It was crushed into the dry heart of the supercontinent Pangaea, where those amphibians which evolved into reptiles would come to rule the world, both land and sea. But the age of the dinosaurs came to an end. Their world shattered 65 million years ago. Still, the continents crept north. When life re-emerged, it was into a colder Scotland. One where warm blood was the secret of success. It was about to get even colder. At last, the huge land masses clustered around the North Pole. They blocked the great ocean currents that had kept the northern seas warm. Now, when snow fell, instead of melting, it settled. And settled. Crushed into ice by its own weight. The glaciers over Scotland were over a half-mile deep, and they ground their way down the Great Glen. 10,000 years ago, a thaw came. As the ice of the glaciers melted, it poured into streams and burns, flowed down from the hills, and flooded the Great Glen, turning it into a chain of lochs. Life returned once again to these hills and valleys, and eventually, the first humans to see this part of the world arrived at Loch Ness. Being human, they told stories. Stories that would grow and evolve to become myths and legends. Legends like the Loch. 500 million years in the making.
How are we all doing today? I'm Gordon, the barman here. And that's Alice Campbell, the water here.
And now, we find ourselves in a Drum and Rocket hotel bar, often called the Drum, on a quiet day in April 1933. Very quiet.
Did you hear something?
That was until the arrival home of the hotel manageress, Mrs. Aldi Mackay.
Are you alright, Mrs. Mackay? You look like you've seen a ghost.
Alex, I've seen it. Plain as day.
Mrs. Mackay, what exactly is it that you've seen?
John and I were driving back from Inverness, and I happened to be looking at the loch. And then the water started to bubble and boil, and I saw it.
What did you see?
I saw the beast, Gordon. And don't you mock me. I know what I saw.
What did it look like? How big was it?
Black and wet and huge, Alex. It was like a whale. It was, with the water rolling off it. It swam in a great circle for a minute or so, stirring up waves big enough for a paddle steamer, and then down it went. in a great massive foam.
Oh, you've certainly had a fright there, Mrs. Mackay. Yeah. Thank you, Betty.
Loch Ness is a hidden world of its own. 10,000 years old and part of the Great Glen, which is 380 million years old. Old enough to be our own Jurassic World. If it's wildlife you want, the loch has plenty. Salmon, eels, otters, even the odd adventurous seal. Have any of these creatures played a swim-on part as Nessie over the years? Maybe. But Loch Ness hides its secrets deep.
Veľké okno, že obrazovka obrovská.
We're going to see what lies under the surface. As we said, that's a lot of water. 23 miles long, with walls of rock and clay which plunge steeply into a 754-foot deep abyss, deep enough to engulf Edinburgh Castle twice. The loch is murky, with dark, peaty water as brown as tea, even up at the surface. Get deep enough, and no light penetrates. Which means we'll need some digital magic to clear the water, to see what's down here. Ah, that's better. Down we go. To about 130 feet, or 40 meters. The water here splits into layers at different temperatures. The loch water above is warmer, heated by the sun, floating on cold water below. These layers move independently of each other. The line between the layers is called a thermocline, and we're hovering on one right now. Wind on the surface of the loch pushes the warm water to the far end of the loch, where it forces the thermocline down. But when the wind drops, all the water starts rolling to and fro from one end of the loch to the other, and keeps going for weeks, creating huge underwater waves known as a seiche, forming a surface current that can carry logs and other debris along against the wind. Could that explain the many sightings of humps? No time to solve that now. Down we go again. And it's cold down here. Only 5 degrees or so below, but never colder. The loch never freezes. The cold water sinks and warmer water rises from the depth to replace it. And we're right over the greatest depth now, near Arkard Castle. Do you get the feeling something's watching us? We are not alone. There are monsters down here.
Perhaps more what we are supposed to see. That can change how we interpret the things we see. So the investigators found that the sea serpent reports were boat legs. And the long-necked ones were usually water birds, which can look much bigger on calm water when there's no pattern of waves to judge size. And then there are those branches you mentioned, apparently swimming upwind.
So what about plesiosaurs? I so wanted to be a plesiosaur. That would get my vote. And that's what so many people to this day believe in.
We haven't looked for one of those for a very long time, and the water's too cold for reptiles anyway. And that famous surgeon's plesiosaur photo, we found that was a model on a toy submarine. Marmaduke well again. Hoax photos have become a bit of a sport.
Ah, but Adrian, there was no evidence of the giant squid or the coelacanth when they turned up, so we could still find Nessie.
Yes, but what sort? Mammals would cope better with the cold, but they eat a lot more than reptiles, and as you said, the low productivity doesn't make much of a menu for a herd of monsters. The odd seal does get in, but not whales, but idiots. In 1976, the Bureau Director switched the effort to Loch Ness with its identical monster tradition, but clear water. Some witnesses reported underwater shapes moving along the shore. We used image-intensified video cameras pointing upwards. Even a large creature was showing complete silhouette against the surface brightness. We returned to Loch Ness, this time with sonar. This is the John Murray. We built it on a beach in 1981 to carry a fishing trawler scanning sonar. The forward superstructure pivoted the vessel steadily downwind for long silent patrols. So for Operation Deep Scan in 1987, we had a whole fleet beaming a sonar curtain straight down. You know where you are with the beams then. It had the smell of decision about it. We did get 3 deep contacts and we're still not quite sure about them.
It was said they were bigger than a shark, but smaller than a whale, but they remain to this day unexplained.
Hej. Čo si si kúpila? Výborne, super, paráda.
Ukáž? Tričko s nozremcem.
To stojí teda, ale ukážem.
OK. Po jazere Loch Ness sa dnes viete plaviť s loďou, so sonarom a hľadať Nessie. Ideme sa aj my pozrieť do tejto spoločnosti, koľko by stál takýto lodný výlet. Touto loďou sa dá ísť pozerať Nessie, hľadať sa po Lochneskom jazere. Majú sonár. Vidíme, koľko stojí lístok, aj kedy ide najbližšie hľadanie. No čo?
22 niečo je
Na osobu?
na osobu, na dospelú a 18 je dieťa.
Áno, a kedy idú najbližšie?
Za hodinu.
Za hodinu až idú?
Áno.
Koľko? O druhé a koľko je?
Jedna hodina.
Dobre, tak ideme hore povedať Linduške a dohodneme sa.
Stačí 15 minút pred odchodom prísť.
Dobre. Inverness a ideme sa najesť. Všelijaké dobré obchody sú tu. Tu je hrad. Majú?
Majú.
Ale že či majú bezlepkový, o to nevieme.
sa opýtame.
No, sme v Inverness a máme tu paradajkovú polievočku s maslom a chlebíkom, bezlepkové. A potom máme tradičnú škótsku polievku syrovo-mliekovú s údenou rybou. Tak ideme to ochutnať. Kusiska ryby sú v tom.
Dobre, papizuj.
Aj zemiačiky. Máme fish and chips, cibulové krúžky. Thank you very much. Thank you.